Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Dr. Hynd. Dr. Hynd has accumulated more than 20 years of professional experience in high-level leadership positions. She was nominated by Forbes among the 100 most influential women and most influential Arab Women in Business 2015, and honored as a member of the Johns Hopkins Society of Scholars in 2018. With a Harvard PhD and engineering degree from Centrale Paris, Hynd started her career at the World Bank in Washington before joining Morocco's prime minister in Casablanca Stock Exchange as a managing director. She structured several investment funds before launching her consulting firm and just published the inspirational and women empowerment book, African Girl, African Woman. However, it was not always so pretty. Hynd has gone through her own life's journeys. She is here to talk about how we all go through things, but we need to keep pushing forward. Welcome, Dr. Hynd.
Definitely.
What's your view on personal growth?
It's extremely important. And that's what I just said. Keeping your sanity, it means you keep a mental health and personal development and personal growth is the way you can keep your mental health and keep on, keep helping yourself finding back, being on track again when you get lost, when you feel like you just want to sit in the rabbit hole because the world stopped, because whatever felt for you, everything which just crashed, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go and sit in my dark hole, and that's it. And that's where you need to have the skills of helping yourself back up and building yourself piece by piece.
Where were you at when you started to realize personal growth? Like, where were you in your journey? Were you in your 20s, 30s, 40s? And then where were you?
I think I realized that pretty late. I was in my 40s.
Wow.
Because in my 20s, I was doing my PhD at Harvard. It was too much. It was so much sparks, When
Yeah.
you're a student, it's the best time. Yet we are looking for it to finish so that we can start working. But that's the best time. And I always say to students, enjoy your time. This is the best moment where you
Yeah.
can learn. You can just be in that safe bubble that everything is okay, and just learn as much as you want, as much as you can, rather, because it's really how much you can absorb. And then in my 30s, late 20s, I was at the World Bank. 30s, I was traveling the world, and it's fascinating. I think what's up to me, personal growth is related to helping others. More you help, more you grow.
Yeah.
And when you help, you are growing in the same time. More you give, more you grow. And so the thematics on which I was working was really development and helping. So I can travel and see the communities that are, have new projects. So that made me feel like, it just, I can feel it in me, because it's so great. It's like you're so grateful for what you do, because it's just like you're making a difference in people's life. That connection with human being is just, you grow, you see them grow, but you grow also as well in the same time. And then when you get caught up into entrepreneurships and all the having to manage the office, the team, the problems, the wow, you're like, whoa, you forgot.
Yeah.
You let yourself, I don't know, where is you, I mean, in that moment. And I
Yeah.
think that's what happened to me. I was just eaten up by everything, eaten up.
How did you wind up coming around to understanding it? Was it a book? Did someone say something? Did you watch something? What happened?
You'll find it very funny, okay? Because at extremes, okay, when you're in a project or an enterprise, you always dread have arrive into something so crazy and extreme, and then it happens to you. It's like, no, this is, I can't, it just happens to you. So for you is the end. And I was watching Queen of the South, Teresa Mendoza.
Okay.
And it's just funny because you'll think, okay, I'm in finance, but she's in narco trafficking. But it's kind of the same thing when you look at how sharks are planning to take these plots everywhere. And I was amazed by the way she was always looking at what she's going to become afterwards. That
Yes.
moment, when she comes out of that limousine wearing this shirt, she's like, okay, look what I am. Maybe I was there. That's okay. Look what I am. And that was just, it's funny, but it was just one thing. And I
Wow.
realized this is it. The only way you can stand back up is by believing in what you can create and just holding out to that vision, to that perfect image.
Absolutely.
But I think it's not that. I came home and, I looked at my girls. I have 3 girls.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want let my girls see their mother like this. I will not. And I can see that vividly. I remember they were sitting at the kitchen and I looked at them and I said, no, for my daughters, I'm going to stand up and recreate myself and believe in myself. And no matter what I go through, it makes me so emotional still because it was very hurtful and I didn't want my kids to see it.
Yeah.
And I had to really find the strength to show up as a role model for them, my girls. And this is what I said. So I'm doing this for my girls, and I'm doing this for every girl in the world and in Africa. And that's how I wrote my book. So
Yeah.
I wrote my book, African Girl to African Women, where you can see there is a lot of pain through it, but it's just showing the struggles that women have gone through to become leaders.
Yeah.
And so when we go back to history, every woman had difficulties. Women who couldn't go to school, so they will hide and they will take books from friends that will just bring them to them. Women who had to hide to work. Women who had to change her name to as a man so that she can write. So, and I think this it just helped me come up again. And I'm
Wow.
like, it's all right. Everyone can fall and stand back up.
Yeah.
And there are so many amazing women that have done it before. And now what I'm showing is that for every girl to strengthen up. And if there is something, we all have challenges. Mine came this way. Others comes from, personal life, losing someone, being hurt, going through trauma. Just, everyone goes through pain.
Yeah.
And if you keep yourself inside that torturing pain, you destroy yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why so I think the one big thing is to take the decision that this is not your life. You're not going to fall. And that's where you remember, I mentioned this Queen of the South, but it could be Superwoman, Xena the Warrior, whatever it is, someone that just, bring you that strength, just even put in loud music and like, yes, I can be, just do it, just become that warrior. Okay, I've fallen. I'm like in the worst situation, but I'm standing back up
Yeah.
because I'm a warrior, because everyone has that warrior personality. Everyone
Yeah.
inside. And that's the moment When you're like, okay, my warrior, come out. I need you here.
Yes.
But that's a decision. You need to make
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
often people don't make the decision because they think that maybe they should stay in that torturing, painful, emotional sphere for a while because it's good to feel, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not good to feel.
Yeah.
It's not good. Doesn't take time to heal.
Yeah.
It takes time to heal after you make the decision, not before.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make the decision, you're just torturing yourself. And don't ever, for every, I don't know who's watching us, but not ever let yourself in the pain and suffering of remembering moments in your life. Make a decision that you are creating something so beautiful and so amazing that all the old thing, you're going to say thank you that it happens because it changed you,
Yeah.
because it had triggered in you something you didn't even know existed. No?
Absolutely. I can kind of relate to that. There was a point in my life where I was going through some stuff, and I thought that I was going through those things because the universe or God or whatever you believe was punishing me for being a bad person.
Mm.
So in my head, I thought to myself, this is my punishment. And the longer I go through my punishment, the more that I will prove that I am sorry.
No, yes, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you expressed it so well.
Yeah. That,
No,
and people stay in that.
yes, I know, but you no, don't stay in that.
Yeah.
You know why you don't stay in that? Because you need to love yourself and forgive yourself. It's you that matters.
Yeah.
You forgive yourself. Whatever you've gone through is not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. And
Yeah.
you cannot go forward by living in your past. There is no way. Turn the page, move
Yeah.
until the scar is healed.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's about love. That's the second point. You take the decision and you forgive yourself by loving yourself. When you love yourself, you're going to forgive yourself because you will be so good to yourself that you'll understand that, whatever happens is not your fault and it's okay. And whatever it is, you still love yourself.
Yeah. Definitely. There's people listening right now or on the replay, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, got it. I understand what Hind is saying. She's saying to move forward. She's saying to not think this way. She's saying to embrace my inner warrior, or however, they're interpreting that. The second question that I get from a lot of my clients is, okay, I understand it. I can conceptualize it. Now what? What are the steps? Do you have maybe like a 1, 2, 3 steps on how a person can go from being where they're at now, the darkness that they're in now, to a better place? What would be
I
your
do.
advice?
I do. Yeah, I do. Very simple. Because if that took me out of my own rabbit hole, it can take anyone. And when you are in far away and you're like so dark, but you can see just one tiny light, like so small, just tiny, just like maybe, just like, the light is there, the weather is nice, the garden is beautiful, just that, stick to that. Stick to that one tiny thing and be grateful of having it in your life. Just tiny thing. I know it's hard, but when we are in the middle of this, we forgot about the simplest thing. But when you just stick to that tiny thing, just being able to sleep and have a nice and cozy bed, and you're grateful for that, just being grateful of looking at the window and looking at flowers, or just be grateful for the simplest thing in your life, and it will grow in you. Every morning, you made the decision. You created the person you want to become because that's the decision. What's your decision? You made it. You're coming out of it because you're going to be that amazing person who's going to look back to what happened is like, that's okay. Look what I am now. You know,
Yeah.
that's your decision. And then be grateful. Every day, be grateful. Because what it does, when you're grateful, you can be anxious and fear will go away.
Yes.
And the only way you get rid of fear is by being grateful, because fear is there. It's stick to you. It's like that's it. It's inside you. It's like, wow. It's like, how can I get it out? And the only way you get it out is either by a shock, which is, I don't know what's gonna be, because you're in your rabbit hole. So how can you have any shock of anything? Because you numbed, right? Because you're numbed, right? Because you're
Yeah.
like, whatever, you know. I'm in my negative circle, depression. It's all there, you know. Whatever happens, I don't care. But the only thing is just stick to that mini light that you can see, and every day, and be disciplined. The only way you get out of whatever you do is discipline, and discipline is your decision to make, nobody else.
Yeah.
You discipline yourself, because once you've taken the decision, that means you're coming out of it. Coming out of it, it takes discipline. Reaching freedom, mentally, financially, everything is discipline. It's not doing nothing, it's discipline. And that's what I teach, actually, Sabrina. You know, if you want to become, I teach women to become leaders and influential. But the first thing is to lead yourself. If you can't lead yourself, how can you lead anyone?
Yep.
Anyone.
Yeah.
You need to lead yourself. And leading yourself is by being disciplined. And being disciplined is getting into your mind, that shifting your mind into gratefulness. Be grateful, because grateful for the little details, just little simple, for anything, just grateful of being able to sit down, being able to take a shower, being able to eat something nice, being able to, whatever you, that little thing, just be grateful for it. And then it will grow. Every day you'll have more things to be grateful about, because you are changing your vibration into something that is going higher, and you coming out tiny mini bit by from where you've been. It's a process.
Yeah.
But love yourself no matter what. And it's hard to love yourself, because there are moments where you've gone through things and you just hate yourself so much. You look at yourself and you just want to say names to yourself, because you hate yourself for having gone through tough experiences. But again, it's discipline. By loving yourself every day, you'll finish by appreciating. You'll get to the point where you actually really love yourself. So the steps are easy. 3 steps. 1, take a decision. Take a decision that you are creating that great person.
Mm-hmm.
Second, forgive yourself. Love yourself. Say it every day. I love you. I love you. You're so great. No matter what, you're the best. I love you for who you are. Just look at yourself and like, oh, I'm so beautiful. And I love you. It's like, And the third one is just be grateful. Be grateful for the little things. Don't do anything else. Just do that. Just be grateful for things. And after 21 days, really, because it takes 21 days to start shifting your habits, you will start seeing more light in your life. More light.
I love that. Perfect.
Hmm.
What's the number one lesson you've learned from your life?
What should I have? It's that life happens for you, not against you. Because we blame ourselves. And, you said it earlier. You feel it's like when something happens, you're like, okay, it's because I've done something I attracted it. It's because, so you start really going into that blaming mode. But when you realize that if something happens, it's not about why it happens to you. It's about, what did I learn from it? Where, maybe I was in the first floor and I was supposed to be 17th floor. That's my high class level. And I was just stuck there and thinking happy. But when something hits you, you're like, maybe that's the moment where I'm like, okay, maybe I should aim for something higher now. Let's check something more, because I can do it.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. But only great things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Have you had any disempowering thoughts or limiting beliefs in your life?
Mm, Limiting beliefs, I think it's about working harder, overworking, over pleasing everyone. That's what it it took me a while before I realized that what other people thinks is not of my business. It's their business. Because because we grow up wanting to please everyone and wanting to do everything. And then at the end you realize, just focus on what you want to create. You can't be looking at everyone's energy and being in what they are.
Yeah.
Just be who you are.
Yeah.
And
I think
we,
I agree with you. I think that that's probably one of the biggest that holds people back
Mhm.
is just that. And once you kind of dive into personal development, you start to realize that other people's opinions of you doesn't even matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you realize it's not your business. Whatever they say, that's their business. Even if they say things about you, it's still not your business.
Yeah.
But it takes a while before realizing that.
Yeah.
And that means that you have done so much work in yourself,
Yeah.
and that you realize that you don't need anybody's approval for anything, or you don't, it's not going to affect you. You don't live because from the external world to inside, but you drive yourself. And,
Definitely. I think one of the biggest eye openings for me was that same. And then also how it goes to everyone. So it's not just me, but it also goes to everyone around you has the same right that you have.
Mhm.
So then that takes away the control that you think you have over other people.
Mhm.
So as much as you can do whatever you want, everyone else can also do whatever they want. And it's a very freeing thought process once you really grasp it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you start to realize that, wow, I can only do me. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. You can't. That's
Yeah,
it. It's
100%.
very freeing. It's like it's almost you had this huge luggage and just put it down. You're like, wow, I was carrying all of that stuff with me. Whew,
Yeah.
lighten up, girl, and just be
Yeah.
you.
Well, listen, I so appreciate you being on here. I want to take a second to thank those that are on here live right now, watching us and supporting us. And I also want to give a shout out to those of you that are watching on the replay right now. If you could hashtag replay so that we know that you are here and you are watching us. Since we have an audience, I would love for you to tell us what you do. What is
Sure.
your business? Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I completely shifted into women empowerment because when I realized that I can take myself out of a hole, I can help anyone get the mindset. So I understood how the mind works, and that's how I created my method, which is to help every professional woman to create more wealth, make an impact, and be fulfilled in the same time. So it's a three-phase program, where the first one is really how to believe in yourself, believe in your dream, believe in the possibilities, and get rid of all those invisible constraints that we all carry with us, whether it is from tradition, whether it is from believing in the glass ceiling, whether it is from trauma, whether it is of setbacks, failure, anything that has been holding us down, and not letting us be who we really want to be. That's so once you believe in and define the project you want to do, the second phase is to take actions. What is it? To define your financial numbers, reverse engineer that, so that you can have a clear business plan and branding for service you provide, for even for yourself as a person who wants to step up in career, in reaching executive position and leadership position. And finally, how to be an authority and a leader, how to speak from your heart to touch others, how to make an impact, and how to have a sense and find a purpose in your life so that you are on a mission that is bigger than you. And no matter what you do, you will have not only fulfill, but you'll have an amazing impact around you. I mean, it's such a beautiful program. We have a mastermind. In fact, I have a new mastermind starting in April. So the doors are open for women to join us. And the what I love is we celebrate the changes. We celebrate women. And when you free yourself from guilt, from doubt, from fear, from excuses, when you are able to stand empowered and to gain your authority, you become unstoppable. You can create whatever you want. You can, make $1 million look small. You can create huge projects. You can build, I have women creating foundations, other women's finding their dream jobs, other women's launching amazing companies. And more we do that, the more we can have women create their own economies and help others. And it's the ripple effect that will make this mission possible. As you know, since I decided to really shift and use my knowledge and my experience and expertise to empower women on a mission to help 1 billion girls and women to become confident, resilient, tech savvy, and financially free.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And the program that you're running right now, can that be found at your
Yes.
website? On top
It could
of
be
your head?
found on my website. I don't know if we can put it. I can write on a comment. Is it possible?
I can write it. What is it?
www.balmethod.com.
Oh, it's on top of your head.
Is on my top of my head? Yes, it is. Thank you, Sabrina. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have a group on Facebook, which is Women Leading the Word. And we also, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all the different platforms.
Yes, I love that. Very cool. So if somebody did want to follow you, is your social media on your website also? They can find your Facebook and all of that on there? Okay. Very cool. I think that is a great method. Totally makes sense. And I love that you're starting with believe.
It's all about believing.
Step one. Yeah.
Step one.
Yeah.
You need to believe.
Believe it.
You don't believe. And you need to believe in many things. You believe in yourself. You believe in the possibilities. You believe in a better world. You believe in your capacity. And you believe in that warrior inside you if you need it.
Yes.
The warrior, the lover, the magician, the sovereign, all of those personalities that you can use anytime you want.
Yeah. That's great.